Hi there guys, welcome to another episode. Now I often make plans. I'm going to get this car and I'm going to do it up and I'm going to just, whack a Zetec engine and a Mark 1 Fiesta. How difficult can it be? But as most of you who have seen my videos will know, these plans don't always follow the path that I was thinking of. And this little red Fiesta, it's no exception. It's following the rule. It's not going to plan. So I've been talking for ages about this car, getting it ready, getting it done for the MOT, and then getting the bodywork sorted out. And that was the plan. I was going to get it MOT'd and then get it ready for bodywork. And the reason I wanted to get it done in that order was that I needed to drive it to the body shop. So it needed to have an MOT, obviously. Well, the plan for me to get it to the body shop fell through. I can't get it to a body shop anymore. So I had to change my plans. So what do I do now? Well, I paint it myself, don't I? I have painted things before. Mainly it's been lorries and containers and HGV stuff, things like that. And it's a while ago, I'll be honest, it is a while ago since I've done it. But it's just a car. How hard can it be? Actually, it's just a car, it's not too bad. It's only a Fiesta, it's not too bad. It's only a little car. I am painting the outside of it. It's already got the red paint on it, so I just need to put another coat of red paint on top of the paint that's already there. So I'm going to paint it myself, and as you can see, I've started to take it apart. And the reason for that is because I'm going to do it on Thursday. It is Tuesday today, and I'll be painting it on Thursday is my plan. Now the reason for me doing it this quickly and doing it on Thursday is the fact that I've got a bit of a window. So I'll be able to paint it Thursday night, Friday it'll be able to stand, Saturday it'll be able to stand, and then Sunday I'll be able to come back and put it all back together again and move it out of the way. So that's the plan. I've got an extra day that I wasn't planning on having to be able to actually let it dry. I was hoping to be able to put it in a box and heat it up and it'll be done kind of, it's only takes like an hour in a box to get it dry enough to be able to move it. But as I don't have the luxury, it'll be just drying in the air, so it'll need a bit longer. So I'm going to leave it for a couple of days in that case before I start doing anything with it. So that means that it's a bit of a rush job. That's why I've took most of it apart and I haven't filmed it, because I just haven't had time. It's gone really, really quickly. So what I've done so far is obviously the rear bumper I've taken off, because that obviously needs rubbing down completely and respraying. It looked horrible, if you remember, with the clear coat. Was all kind of, the clear coat that somebody put on was all peeling off on this side. So that's been taken off and it's going to be rubbed down. Rear lights are taken out, obviously. I need to get rid of the boot lock, which is one of today's projects. I have actually welded both the rear arches. I was able to just weld in a little patch here and a little patch there. So that arch is absolutely fine now. It's brilliant. The other side is pretty much the same. Now I was thinking that I'd have to replace this whole piece here. It turned out I didn't need to. I could replace a piece here and a piece down there as well. But there was a little piece on this front edge here as well that I had to replace. So under here and on the front edge, that's it. So that panel was actually in better condition than the other side, even though this one looked worse. So this rear wheel arch doesn't actually need that much prep work. It's just around here where I've been with the welder. The rest of the wheel arch looks all right. It did have some kind of a, I don't know what, spot or whatever it was here. I've gone over it with one of these, God knows what these are called, Scotch Brite pads or something like that. But I've gone over the car basically just to key the bodywork up with that. And when I did that on this panel, most of whatever that mess was there disappeared. So there's not really a lot left to do on this rear panel. There is a couple of spots that needed a bit of filler on them. Moving on to the door. A couple of scratches here and there. A couple of scratches here that were behind the bump stop thingy, rubber, whatever it is on the side of the door. Now the bottom part of the door, it looks really bad. It looks like there's a lot of work, but it's not actually. Mainly what that is stone chips. So I've put, as you can see, it's spots of filler here, there and everywhere to fill in the stone chips. There was a lot of stone chips on the bottom edges of both these doors and the front wing. So it looks like a lot, but it's not. I've only rubbed it to here anyway with the grinder. So I've put on a little bit of a blue coat now so I can go over it with a straight board and make sure that door's straight. But that is fairly done, the bottom half of that door. Now the front of the car, my colleague saw this the other day and he said it's starting to look like a zebra, but I think it looks more like a, I don't know, but it looks more like a ladybird, to be honest. It's a red car with all its nice little spots all over it. Again, it's all stone chips in the paint. There's loads of stone chips in the paint. So as you can see here, there's little tiny stone chips in the paint. So most of this filler will be removed. Here I've already ground part of it down. As you can see, there's just little tiny stone chips left. So it's nice and smooth, this bonnet is now, and it's going to look really nice. Now the front edge has had a little bit more work. It had a bit of a crease here, but that's all nicely gone now. So this front edge here looks really nice as well. When all the little ladybird spots have gone and it's painted, this bonnet will look absolutely brilliant. Front wing, similar sort of story. Stone chips across the front. Down the bottom here, you'll remember that I replaced that bottom part of the panel down there. So there's a little bit of filler up here. Again, stone chips, that's all it really is on there. And the bottom of the door on this side, pretty similar. Now I've only put filler on here so far. I haven't managed to rub anything down just yet. So that needs a rub down. The rest of the door has had a fair bit of a rub down so far. It had quite a bit of a gouge here from, I don't know what. It was hidden behind that rubber thingy down the middle of the door. So it did have a bit of a gouge in here, but it wasn't too bad. So one of the things I need to get done today is that mirror needs to be taken off. The door handle and the door lock need to also be taken off so that this door is bare, ready for paint. So that's one of the jobs that's going to be done today. And then the biggest part really is this rear wing. Now I don't know what happened behind this panel. I was expecting when I took the inner panel off to see a big crease or something along this panel that kind of showed why the paint had flicked off and the filler was coming, but I can't find anything. I don't know why. Rubbing it down like this, I haven't really found anything either. It has become quite a big area, but mainly it's because of, like here, where the paint went over, it became quite an edge. So it had to have a bit of filler on there just to fill out the edges. But other than that, that panel has come up really, really nicely. I'm quite happy with that. This wheel arch has been rubbed down and it looks really, really nice. So I know it looks a bit mismatched now with black paint all over everywhere, but once it gets a block on there, a sanding block, a nice straight block on there, I'll be able to see if there's any high or low spots on there and adjust them after that. But I think that one's all right. There's a bit more lacquer that had peeled off behind there, so that'll get sorted out as well today. The roof, again, a little bit of lacquer peel here, a little bit of lacquer peel there, a couple of stone chips across the roof, but not bad at all, to be honest. The roof is fairly smooth, to be honest, so I'm quite happy with that one. The boot itself has pretty much nothing on it. What it's got is a little bit of lacquer there that's come off, and the little bits of lacquer peel that were on those two sections. That's it. The boot's kind of done well, to be quite honest. So most panels have got some amount of filler. Others have got more filler than others, but it's not a lot, to be quite honest. So today's job is to sort that other door out on the other side, get it stripped down ready, get the boot lock out of the way. I want to get the aerial off at the top of the car. and it would be nice to get rid of these. If not, if I can't get them off, then I'll just mask them off and they'll be as they are. I won't be removing windows or anything like that. I may remove these little bits here, but other than that, I'll just mask the windows off, and Thursday I can get this painted. So a lot's happened in a very short time. I started with this Friday evening, I think, something like that. I started with the rear wheel arches, I repaired them, and then I started rubbing the car down. So it's basically this far I've got Friday evening. So it's not required a lot of work, to be quite honest, which I'm quite happy about, to be honest, because if it had been more work than that, I would have never made any deadline on it. So today we're going to get started on that driver's door. So we'll get the camera set up and we'll start pulling the inner panel off and then getting rid of the wing mirror, door handle and lock from that side. So to get to the actual lock and handle, we have to take out this black cover that's here. Now the same was on the other side, that somebody has glued it in with, I really don't know what they've used to glue it in, but it's really, really strong. So a razor blade will help me get that out. But it's screwed in from there, and then there's another one in that hole there. So those two screws need to come out, and then I need to cut through this glue at the back here to be able to get this piece out, and it's really tough glue for some reason. I don't quite know why. So that's that out of the way now, and I think the glue that they use here is the stuff they probably put rockets together for NASA. It's really, really strong, and I don't know why, but they put so much in there. So the next step now is going to be getting this lock out of place. Now that's held on with this ring, and it does have a hole in the ring where you can put a screwdriver and just give it a smack and that ring will undo. The door handle itself is just 2 screws on either side, so that's that. And then there's the clips on the door lock itself, and they just poke out of that lock, and that's it. Right, so I've learnt by mistakes, which does happen occasionally, and I had the trouble when I had Alice in the body shop, that I left the door locks in there so I could keep the doors shut, and doing that meant that once I took the handles away, I couldn't open the door anymore. So what I've done is I've tied a piece of wire to where the handle goes, and as the handle needs to be pressed downwards, I've put a piece of wire out through this hole that comes all the way up to the top of here, and as I pull that up, it pulls that down. So that allows me to open the door from the outside, even though there's no door handle. So now pulling that, doesn't do shit. Well, it almost worked. You have to have it through the bottom of the door instead, but if I pull that now, time for the mirror. Well, this is a bit more difficult, but for some reason Ford used these. They did them on the Mondeos, they've done them on a couple of the Fiestas as well, but they do these clips and they look really nice. They are, I mean, they're quite discreet. You can't see that there's actually a screw on there, but you can't actually get them out without damaging them, which was a real problem when I was working on these cars when they were new, because to get them out you have to damage them, and the customers don't like that. But this is an old car, so it doesn't matter. But I'm putting the dentist tool in that hole, and they are quite stiff, but there I can get it out. And it does make a very, very slight dint in that, but it's not really avoidable on these cars. So thanks, Ford. So door mirror off. It's one screw here that holds on the plastic from this side, then there's one normal screw there and 3 bolts there, and the whole thing pushes out that way. So it's fairly easy to get the door mirrors off of these ones. So after going over that door with the longboard, there aren't any spots left over, so that door is finished and I don't need to bother with any more filler on that door. That's fine. The rear quarter here does have a little patch there, so I need to get a little bit of filler in there. Other than that, that panel is fine as well. I've got a little patch there, so I'll get a little bit of filler on there. The bonnet is actually fine, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So the bonnet is done. This front wing has got 2 little patches, one there and one there. So a couple of little bits of filler on there. For me, the passenger door is fine, so that's all right. The rear quarter is also fine, nothing wrong with that. So that one can be, that's ready. The boot I've started to sand down. I've not got all the way yet. I've just took the rest of the glue off the Fiesta badge, and I need to get rid of the boot lock, probably the wiper motor, and then I can sand the rest of the boot down, but I don't think there's anything else that needs any attention to it. There was a couple of little bits up on the top there, but they're fine. The roof, there is a spot over there, so there's a little stone chip just there, so that's going to need a little bit of filler on it as well. Other than that, the roof looks fine. So there's a couple more bits of filler that need to go on everywhere, and then that's pretty much ready for paint on Thursday. So the stuff I'm using, this is the filler that I'm using. It's a multi-filler from Car System. It's just a general filler, I think. I don't think there's anything special about it. A golf ball of this to a pea of hardener is pretty much what you're looking at. Obviously you can add more hardener if you wanted to go quickly, and you can add less hardener if you want it to take a long time to harden. So you can adjust it with that. I'm also using these spreaders. Now these are plastic. A lot of people I know use the metal ones. I've been advised not to use the metal ones, basically because these ones are soft, so they'll form around the body panels. They also have a nice rounded edge, so they don't dig into the filler that you've just put on. So I bought a 5-pack of these, so I've got what, 3 left, something like that. So they are really, really useful. I use them a lot. So on all the paint, all the sanding, all the sandpaper, all the filler, any of the supplies that I'm using have all come from a local company in here in Luleå. So I really recommend them. They're called Lackbutiken. So I'll put a link down below to them for all their connections, so you can get in contact with them if you want any paint or anything to do with this sort of stuff. They do a lot of polishing, they do the car body work, they'll mix paint up, they do cans of paint, they even made me a little set of these like nail varnish tubs, which is for Alice, so it's her paint in there. So I've got that I can add on if needed in her paint. So they'll mix any paint up, they'll do spray cans, they'll do bulk like I'm doing in this one. It's going to take about 2 litres of paint for this car. All the supplies you need, they've got it. So Lackbutiken in Luleå. Mickey and Danne, thank you very much for all your help with all of this. So I think that's about all I can get in this video right now. So join me in the next episode. You don't want to miss the next episode, because this car is going to get paint in the next episode. So if you like what we've seen so far, you want to see, well, obviously you want to see this in its final colour, ready to go out and go for an MOT. So press that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye.